All right, so here's what I have. It's literally the starting project for third person, and there's nothing here. And I'm using 4.24, I believe. But you can do this with any other version. So we're gonna make a new actor from blueprint class, and it's just gonna be an actor. And we don't need any AI player pawn. We don't need any of that. Or the what's it called? The volume for the AI to walk on. Instead, we're gonna make him fly. So if we open this, we're just gonna put a cone as a reference. Cone, and we're gonna set it so it's um, x. It can face its forward vector basically. Let me just set it up there like that. Let me see how big it is though. Alright, so it's quite big. So let's say it starts here. And well, let me see something. Okay, so it starts here, and we want it to go like that, right? We want it to go right at the player. And once he gets to the player, that's it. It's literally gonna make him chase the player. So the way we do this is, by the way, this is really simple. Like the AI is really dumb, so it's going to bump into walls and such if you do it this way. Just a heads up. But you're gonna make four variables. And usually I'd suggest you do this on C++ if you have a lot of variables, like 20 variables. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're gonna use blueprints. So this is player X location. Well, you actually need six for each dimension. So X, Y, and Z. And you need a player X, Y, and Z, and then the enemy X, Y, Z. Um, we'll actually make it, because it's easier, we'll just make it on the X and Y scale. So player X, player Y, and then uh, cone X, cone Y. And they're gonna be floats. Alright. Alright, so we want this to get the player location in real time. So you use the classic tick events, and on every tick you're gonna set the player X and player Y, and you're gonna set the cone X and the cone Y. Alright, just like that. So what are we actually setting these to? Well, we're gonna get the player character, and we're gonna get the location. Get actor location. The way I straightened this was I just combine these two and then I press Q, and then it straightens it out, in case you guys didn't know about it. Then you split this, and you're gonna say the value of the player X goes to this, player Y goes to this. Now, what this is going to do is make the cone only on the X and Y, to move on the X and Y location, which means it's going to move like that, but it's not going to go up and down, just X and Y. Now, For the cone X and cone Y, we just say the same thing, get actor location. We split the structure, plug it in. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Let me go to Paint so I can show you guys better. So let's say we have a graph, right? So let's say the player character is orange. Oh, no. Alright, so let's say, sorry about that. Alright, player character is orange. Let's say the player is right here. And then the actor is right here. So this is like, let's say this is on location -3, 2. And then this one is on location 1, 2, 3. So 3 -2. So what this needs to do is go 4 left and then 3 up, right? Not like 6 up. Well, we need to make basically if statements. So you're gonna say if um, if this one is 3, no, if let's see, x. So if this is super high up to this part, it needs to go to the other part. And the way we would do this is if we say if player x, we just say px is less than cone cx, then for cx we're gonna subtract 1, because when we subtract 1 it's gonna keep going there until it reaches. And then if py is less than cy, then we need to do the same, cy -1. But then if px is greater than 1, then cx, sorry, then we need to do cx plus 1. You see what I'm trying to do? It's basically detecting the value of the player and the value of the main character, of the cone, and then determines whether it should subtract or add. And that way it's gonna get to this player. Oh, and for the last one should be py is greater than cy. And then that's cy plus 2, plus 1. Alright, so we're gonna implement all this in freaking Unreal Engine. Let's see. Alright. I forgot what I said, sorry. Alright, so we'll start with this one. We're gonna start with this first. So we have oh, another thing. We're actually gonna make it a sequence. What sequence does is it's running two functions at once, basically. So while we compare the x, the stuff here with about x, we'll compare the stuff down here for y. So that way you can have the x and y locations at the same time. So we're gonna get so yeah, we're gonna do what we set here in the graph. So the x is the first one. So we say player x is less than conx. If that branch is true, you're gonna get um, you actually need two more variables, but those two variables are gonna be codes target x and then target y. The reason we have those is so we can get them. We can basically set them up, and that'll be the new location for the cone. So we're gonna say cone x. So if player x is less than cone x, we subtract one, right? Okay. So minus float, we say -1, and you plug it in. Now for this one, we'll do the same if it's let me see, how are we gonna do that? If this is false, it's gonna check this one right here. Float plus float. So this is gonna be +1. Oh, by the way, we're doing this right here now. So should be player x. Oh, whoops. Greater than float. Right. So player x is greater than conx. Let me just make sure. Player x greater than conx. Conx +1. Okay. Conx +1. Um, looks okay for now. Now we're gonna do the same with those. Let me just copy these. So now we're gonna do the exact same thing, but with the y location. So player y is less than cy. Player y less than cy. If that's true, get c and y add. Right. Wait, is it add or subtract? Yes, subtract. Right. I'll leave that for later. Subtract 4. Alright. And you're gonna set tx to that. Okay. And if it's false, then check if it's less than. Actually, we don't even need to check it. We can just say, hey, if it's false, just do that. Which is this. Well, for better presentation, we'll keep it like that. That. Player y is greater than con y. If that's true, then you're going to add 1 to con y. So we either add or subtract. And we're gonna set ty to this. Okay. Now we're gonna set the actor location. Set actor location. Now you'd be probably wondering what should we plug in here. If we plug this here of tx, then this one will never execute. But we can't plug both of these at the same time, which is why we made the new variable, these two variables. because now I can just connect all 4 pins inside here. And then I'll just say target X goes in location X, target Y goes in location Y. Sweep if you want to activate any collision things. And we'll keep the same height as this. So you need to find the height of that actor, which is 740. You need to put this at 740, otherwise it's gonna be 0. You're not gonna see it. And let's see what we did. And you see the cone is following the player. And it's following the player at the speed of 1. But it always goes on the player. You see the um, shadow moving, and it's right on top of the player. If I go outside of it, it's right on top of it. Now you're gonna see it moving around like that sometimes. That's because it's not like we're adding 1 digit to this or subtract. I mean, yeah, adding 1 digit to this or subtracting. Same with the wire. But the location of the player is not rounded up digits. It's not really, like you see, it's minus 825 point something. But this right here, it's minus 826. So you'd probably say, oh, I need to subtract 1. But when it subtracts 1, it needs to add 1. So you see how it keeps changing between 825 and 826? That's because it keeps playing this and it keeps going back and forth. So if you were to increase this by 10, all of it, you'd have that same problem. I mean, on a much bigger scale, like 10 times that scale. However, your actor will be a lot faster. You see, it's like way faster. I can't even outrun it. There is a way to fix it by normalizing this, whatever you want to do. Um, but I'll keep it like that for now. But that's the basic actor following player without any meshes, without any um, AI controllers or anything like that. Yeah, it's kind of junky, but it's adjustable. That's all.